All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Today, I'm going to show you guys the new parts that I've received for my 03 Cobra. Not a great angle for it. Got a few new parts, came in the mail. I'm going to do some unboxing and show you guys the different parts. A lot of interior stuff mostly. As I talked about in the last video, it definitely needs some interior work, considering there's a lot of extra red and stuff that's done to it that I don't really like, and I want to change it back to factory. So a lot of the parts that I got, frankly, are kind of undoing what the previous owner did to make it whatever it is now, and kind of want to revert at least the interior bits and most of the cosmetic stuff back to the factory components, just because that's the kind of the look that I like. I don't want it to be, too outlandish. It's an 03 Cobra. So show you guys the parts and we'll go from there. All right, so got the parts here. I'm gonna kind of show you guys what each of them are, where they're going on the car, that type of thing. So first thing we've got here is some MagnaFlow catalytic converters. These puppies are gonna go on the exhaust, obviously, and honestly, the exhaust is a bit too loud, I think, right now. I need to pass inspection, at least here in Texas. You need catalytic converters to pass inspection, and so I'm gonna put those on, get them welded on in a muffler shop. Not doing that at home today, but I'll get those on there, show you guys what the exhaust sounds like after that. These little boxes are actually just fog lights. They're the glass ones. I think there's plastic replacements on there right now, and again, I want it to be back to kind of the factory components, and they were glass from the factory. A couple other small things. So headlights, these are just to make it a little whiter light. I don't want the ricer blue or super white kind of thing, but this is still a halogen bulb that fits the stock housing in the headlights assembly. So got these guys for that. This right here is from Steeda. So if you guys remember from my 97 Cobra, I actually had a Steeda Triax short throw shifter in there as well. And so this is the same, but except it's a 6-speed, obviously, because this has a T56 Magnum from Tremec. I think it was the T45, the T5 in the 97 Cobra. That transmission was made out of glass. The T56, great transmission. They put it in the C5 Z06, other cars that go very fast. So this one's a lot better. Now, I do like the short throw components. Yeah, I realize you can't really see this. I'll show you guys when I install it. But basically, short throw shifter, so I can row through the gears without having to, physically row through the gears like I'm rowing a boat. As you guys know, with a lot of stock transmission, they're very long throw. Got these little vents used off of eBay. This was maybe 20 bucks, so I can replace those, I guess the ones they painted red for whatever reason. So got these, show you guys the rest of the interior bits now. So I've got the cluster piece for the dash. So this is obviously where the instrument cluster is. You can replace it so it's black again, the factory color and everything. This is the AC radio console trim. So this cover is gonna go in the middle. Where it currently is currently red. I don't know why they painted everything red, I guess to match the exterior of the car, but personally I don't think it looks great. So I'm gonna put this guy on there. This is also used, also from eBay. So this is actually the shifter trim. And then this is kind of the shift boot, as well as the bezel that goes around the shift boot. And so I think, I don't know, the current shift boot is very dirty, and not that you can't clean that, but it's 20 years old, and I think it needs replacing. It's been sitting in the sun, and there's probably some holes and stuff. So got this and this to go with the rest of the trim pieces. Also got these two, what are these called? For the, not the armrest, but on the side, on the doors, the door panel, pieces that are also plastic that have been painted. Gonna put these on so it goes back to the stock color and basically what it's supposed to look like. The rest are mostly miscellaneous things that I noticed about the car already. So these are trunk shocks because, as you guys know, over the course of 20 years, the trunk shocks go bad. And so I'm gonna change these out so that I can press the button on my remote key and just open the trunk and not have to press the button and then pry it open. I think this is just, it was like 20 bucks off Amazon as well. Now, you guys may have experienced this as well if you have an 03 Cobra, 04 Cobra, but the light switch, when you pull it, well, when I pull it, it comes off, like this little handle piece right here. And so I got a new one. It's a OE equivalent from Dorman. Basically gonna install this so I can actually use my headlights like normal and not have to worry about ripping it off. I've got some floor mats down there. I'm not gonna show you guys so you know what those look like. Oh, okay. So this was actually pretty expensive right here. Hard to tell in here, but this is the center brake light, which goes on the rear spoiler. So for the 03, 04 Cobras, the trunk spoiler has an integrated taillight strip, and they're known to break fairly easily. I mean, I'll show you guys just real quick. So you can see it's like snapped up. You know, half the lights don't even work. And honestly, it's a pretty expensive piece to replace. So I can understand why the previous owner didn't want to blow the money to, you know, or to invest in a new brake light assembly, but I'm gonna get this bad boy back to where it's supposed to be and get it all squared away. So got this trunk light. I believe it's OE equivalent, but it is sequential, which I thought was pretty cool. There's no different colors, it's not smoked or anything, but it is sequential and hopefully it continues to work. I'll need to do some tests to make sure the lights work as they should, but that's the main thing with this. Pretty critical. I'm gonna make sure not to slam the trunk too hard, not have to buy another one. Last couple things here. This is a SVT emblem, and these are the Cobra letters. You can just get these off Amazon for like 30 bucks. They're the inserts actually that go into the Cobra lettering on the rear bumper. For you guys that have, again, an 0304 Terminator Cobra, the letters are a different size than the 97 to 99s. So something to be aware of. You can't buy the letters for, like in my 97, the Cobra lettering was actually smaller than these. So they're currently black, and I wanted to make them metallic, I guess, kind of chrome, because I've got the chrome wheels. And honestly, I kind of like the look. You know, I wasn't a huge fan of chrome wheels before I saw this specific car, but actually it's not too bad, and actually that's what they have from the factory. So, you know, I'm okay with that. The badge though, both of these things I will say, I'm not going to install yet because I'm actually considering changing the color of the car. I know that's a pretty big step and it usually costs a lot of money, and it does. I just sneeze. Now, it obviously costs a lot of money to change the color of a car, and you can do it mainly two ways. You can either wrap it or you can get it painted. Now, for my specific purpose, I want to try to save a little bit of money because I spent most of the money that I had saved up pretty much on buying the car. But I do want to make it my own, and I'm not a huge fan of the red fire color. Also, the paint isn't perfect on this car. There's no clear coat peel, but you know, there's a little imperfections here and there. So I'll get it detailed, but I do have plans to either wrap the car or get it painted. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on the status of that and what route I decide to go down. But I've been contacting a couple of places for quotes and estimates on getting that work done, just because I do want to kind of make it a very clean example, you know, kind of my build. And I think it'd be cool if I had a color that I'm really fond of. So again, I'll keep you guys posted on that, and we'll see where that takes us. So for right now, those are the main things. Again, the only thing that's done so far with the car since I've bought it is just the fuel filler neck, which is done at that shop. Next week, I've got a couple appointments for the car to get it looked at, different things to make sure that it's all squared away mechanically before I go into actually modifying it performance-wise. Short throw shifter is not going to really make much of a difference for anything. It's already got, I think, an aftermarket clutch quadrant under there, and a couple other minor things, but just want to make sure again that the car is ready to go and ready for these modifications, just because again, it's 20 years old. If you guys out there, buy E36 M3, IS 300, like a Toyota Supra, all these cars that are, 20 plus years old, you want to make sure that they can handle the performance modifications, or else you're going to be sorry. Because when you start putting a new blower, a 2.9 liter Whipple on there, and it hasn't got new fuel pumps, it needs injectors, spark plugs, all this stuff. If all that stuff is old and outdated, you're going to need to do that beforehand so you don't run into issues on the road. So that's pretty much, again, all the parts that I've got so far. The last thing we need to do before we actually get these interior bits in is to go ahead and wash the car. So I'm not going to do that here because there's a ton of mosquitoes outside and I'm done getting bit. So I'm going to take it over to the car wash, get it all cleaned up, vacuum the inside, get it ready for interior work.